she might. We have a second book, which would be such an improvement.
Like, what's going to happen after this?
Oh my god. I'm gonna need some time to collect my thoughts. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Nara, and in this corner of the internet, we love to read. So if you do too, take a moment and subscribe. Join the family of feral book readers, because the more the merrier. That's the only reason why. So today and throughout the next couple of days, we are going to knock off our TBR for September. If you have watched my latest video, not my latest, I think like 2 videos ago if I'm not mistaken, we picked up 5 books that I will be showing right here of books that I need to read for the month of September. I have tried this once before, back in January or February if I'm not mistaken, and I think I read like 1 book. So we're trying to get better at this. I'm not saying I will read the 5 of them, but I will for sure read at least 2 or 3, which would be such an improvement. So we have Servants of Earth, Sea Witch, Remembering the Ashes, Arcana Academy, and Eldritch, which is the sequel of Anathema. And we're going to pick up one of these books and read them throughout the week together and try to just knock off our books for the month of September. I will be trying to read as much book as I can and just take you guys with me on this journey. So I will see you guys as soon as we pick up our first book. Hello everyone, we are starting our first book for the week, and that first book is actually our first pick for the month, which is Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. And I started this book yesterday and I'm already over 50% in, which is crazy. I don't understand how this happened, but I inhaled this book and this tells a lot about how I like it. So I really am enjoying this book. It is about a girl called Kenna, and every year or a couple of years, 4 women are sacrificed to go to the other realm, which is a Fae realm. And a lot of people do compare this to A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is ACOTAR, and I can see how the beginning can feel very reminiscent of ACOTAR, because we have 2 worlds. We have the human world and the Fae world, and these 4 women are sacrificed to the Fae world. And so what happens is that Kenna's best friend is chosen to go to the Fae world, which makes Kenna pretty much lose her mind and try to save her best friend. But Kenna ends up traveling to the Fae world and is chosen to be the servant of one of the princes, and she is a servant of the Princess of Earth. So in this world we have different branches of magic. Every branches have their own ruler. So we have the earth, the light, the illusion, the void, the fire, and the last one that I'm not gonna mention just because I think it can be a spoiler. But yeah, so far really enjoying it. And what's happening to Kenna now is that she has to help her mistress go through these trials. So she cannot go through them for her, which is kind of cheating, but she can definitely and will be definitely helping her through these trials. So this book is a lot about political court. We have so much betrayal. Things are happening left and right. I think this is going to be definitely more than a 4 stars. But yeah, so far so good. And actually the sequel is coming up this month, which is very exciting because I can pick it up right away, which is great. So yeah, I will be continuing this book and I will see you guys on the next update. I have a theory that the MMC that she's supposed to be with is not the one that is pictured in this book. Okay, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm rooting for the villain. Like, there's one prince in one court that she is having like a love story with, But there's another one that she actually is spying for, and I feel like she should be with him because even though he's a villain and he's super mean to her, I feel like the way he acts and the way he shows his love and the way he protects her tells me so much more than how the other MMC is actually treating her. I mean, you could tell someone she's beautiful, and if you make her feel beautiful, these are two different things. You know what I mean? And I feel like she should be with the one who makes her feel beautiful, the one that protects her and that is there for her and that is showing instead of telling. But he's the villain. So am I wrong? Am I like looking too much into it? Because I don't like the MMC that she is with. For me, it's giving Akatar because I feel like she is with Townlin and she should end up with the villain. But the villain is not like Rhysand. Like Rhysand is a little cocky and flirty and all of these little things, but this villain is not. He's not that cocky. He's just like moody and broody and mysterious. But he's also extremely protective of her, and I want her to end up with him. I hope she does. Who knows? She might. We have a second book. We'll have to see.
Guys, I had to stop my car. I'm currently listening to Servant of Earth, and I have like about 50 pages left, and I have been listening to it because I have a lot of driving to do today, and it's betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. I had to stop on the side of the street because I couldn't believe all the betrayals. And oh my god, I just know I'm gonna have to pick up book 2 ASAP. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like, you know there's going to be betrayal. Like, you feel like there's someone who's going to betray because there's so much political intrigue. From the way this story is going, you know that there's going to be betrayal, but the amount of betrayal and the depth of how betrayed our character feels at this point is insane. I just can't believe all of this is happening right now, and it is going to set up for book 2 in a way that I know I'll have to pick it up as soon as it comes out. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I have to stop and share that with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna go and continue driving because I'm in the middle of downtown Montreal and I can't believe this is almost the ending of the book. Like, what's going to happen after this? Who can she trust after this? So much death, so much betrayal, so much trickiness. People are very tricky and very sneaky and nasty in this book. It's making me very excited for book 2. But the only thing is I just don't feel attached to the characters as much as I would like to. Things are happening and people are dying and I'm just like, it's sad, but I don't feel the depth of the sadness of it. I don't know if you know what I mean. I'm just not attached to these characters, and I wish I was. That's it. Anyways, I have to go, guys. I'm gonna continue driving and listening to it, and I will give you guys an update very soon.
It is the next day, and I am feeling a bit queasy this morning because I am on my first day of my period, and I always feel a bit nauseous and queasy. I think I'm going to stay in my bed for the next couple of hours and just finish Servant of Earth. I think I have about like less than 50 pages left, which is crazy because so many things happened and I just can't believe we are still not over this book. It could have ended like 50 pages ago and I would still be shocked by the betrayals. So I can't wait to see what the last page will look like. But yeah, let's read and finish Servant of Earth. I do know what the next book I want to pick up after Servant of Earth, and that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. So I'm very excited. I think I am going to enjoy this book so much. It is YA fantasy, which I love. So I'm just excited to dive in. But yeah, let's finish Servant of Earth and give our last and final thoughts and rating, of course. Okay, we just finished Servant of Earth. So I'm rating this book a 4.25. I'm shocked because the end of it was not cliffhangy, and I feel like I can still wait before picking up the second book. But the ending was interesting. I loved the ending of this book because it is not your usual damsel in distress, a man is gonna come and help her out. No, she is taking matters into her own hands. She is feisty. She is fighting for everything that she wants. She is doing it with her girlfriends, and I can't wait to read book 2. So we are in fact going to pick up An Ember in the Ashes right away, and I'm very excited to read this book. This looks like everything that I want to read right now. I am in the mood of reading more YA fantasies, so I'm very excited to dive in. So let's do exactly that. Okay, so it has been 24 hours since my last update, and if I can put this very easily, I inhaled the book. I started yesterday An Ember in the Ashes, and we are almost 70% in, which means I am loving this book and I am enjoying the pacing as well. So first thing, I think that having two POVs, having our FMC and our MMC POVs makes us see a little bit more about their vulnerability. I feel like we can feel more about their thoughts, their personality, their characters, and also how they were brought up into their life. So we can see very much the background and how they grew up as individuals. This allows much more depth to the story. I feel like I am so connected to the characters, and I feel like I can relate to them so much. Even though they are in two different places and they meet sometimes, I feel like these are two intrinsic stories, but I feel like they are so connected, and slowly we can understand how their paths are going to merge together. So I am loving this book so much. The only thing I want to say is that I am so excited to root for their relationship, love story, but they also have little tension and moments with two respective people, and I find myself wanting to vouch for these relationship because they haven't interacted as much as I would like. I feel like they haven't talked to each other as much as I would like to, but we still have 30% left, and this is also the first book in a quartet, so I'm pretty much sure we will get to see each other interact and build up the relation for sure in the next couple of books. But for now, I am very much enjoying it, and I will give you guys maybe an update at the end when I'm done, because I might be done by tonight. So yeah. It is the last sprint for An Ember in the Ashes. I spent the whole day reading while we were doing some errands. We actually went to the market, which was so fun. And so I had a lot of time driving because I was not the designated driver today, which was really fun because I did make a dent into the last 100 pages. So we have less than 50 pages if I'm not mistaken. So let's finish it. But before we do, I have some thoughts to share. First thing is, I have a feeling that we are not made aware of everything that is happening in the background. I feel like there's a lot more lying and betrayal coming our way. Our characters are going to be put in a situation where they have to work together because both of them are quite separate throughout this book. We do get them interacting with each other at some instances, but I feel like they have both their own journey, and I feel like their journey is about to converge together. And that's very exciting because I feel like it is the best way to start a series. I feel like we get to connect with each characters, and then when they come together, their journey is filled with more depth to the story, which is very exciting. Also, I don't trust anybody. Like, someone will say something and then another one will say something else, and then another one will pretty much contradict what the first and the second said. So I'm a bit scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit scared. I hope our characters are going to be fine, even though I know it's going to be a huge cliffhanger after this book. So I'm sorry, there's a lot of airplanes coming into, we're like in a corridor of like a lot of airplanes, and my cat wants to come out of the room, so I'm coming back. We're back. What was I saying? Yeah, I feel like her characters are going to be put in a situation where they have to work together, and that their journey is going to merge and continue in the second book. So I'm very excited to see how this ends. I hope that the characters that I like, the side characters, I mean, are not going to betray me, because I am going to be very sad. There's a lot of death as well. Like, people are dying in this book, and I did not expect people dying so early on the story. But yeah, hopefully things are not as bad, even though I've heard this story is quite tragic. Like, a lot of bad things are happening. So yeah, let's finish An Ember in the Ashes. Collect my thoughts. Okay, so I am calm and collected, and so I wanted to share some thoughts about An Ember in the Ashes. First of all, 4.5, because this book consumed my thoughts in the last 72 hours, and there was nothing else that I wanted to do except reading the book, being back with these characters, trying to solve whatever was happening, and nothing prepared me to what was going on. And for the first time in so long, I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was just enjoying the present moment and just being with the characters. It was the best experience ever, to be honest. I just love this book so much. I am itching to pick up book 2, but we do have another book to pick up for our September TBR, so I'm trying to be very mindful about that, but I cannot wait to pick up book 2 because this book was so good. So this book is pretty much everything that I want in a fantasy, which is found family. A huge mystery because we still don't know what is the depth of the story, which I love. I like being kept in the dark, and I don't like when I do figure out what happens quite easily. So I'm very happy. I think I know where this is going, but I'm not sure because I did try to figure out what was going on in this story, but then things were being told and I couldn't believe that this was it. And it was just betrayal after betrayal and truth, but not entirely the truth. It was truth, but it wasn't exactly what was going on, and we were kept in the dark for so many parts. And because we were following 2 POVs, we would see one side of one story, but the other side wouldn't know about what was going on the other side. And even though we had some crossover throughout the story, I just feel like this is the foundation of such a huge and bigger world, bigger lore, bigger plot, and I feel like we have just scratched the surface of what will be going on in this story. There was just so much things happening in this book, yet we didn't advance much in the plot, if I'm being honest. I feel like being in 2 POVs makes it feel like there's so many things happening, yet we just finished one arc, and I feel like the next one is going to be even more crazy. And also, there's just so much lore and magic that has not been told yet, and that makes me just so excited for book 2. After finishing this book, I just know I will not be able to trust no one because the betrayal was just so hard to swallow, in my opinion. And also, you can see how Sabat here pictures the good guys as the bad guys, and the bad guys not being totally bad. And I just love that because it just plays with moral and values and how people see themselves as the good guys when they're not entirely, and also how the people who know they are the bad guys want to free themselves of this system. And last thing, I love the lore of this book. We do not have much jinn as mythical creatures, and I feel like this touched a lot of the Islamic and Arabic heritage, and I just love it so much. So yeah, 4.5 for An Memory in the Ashes. Cannot wait to read book 2. I will definitely include it in my continuing series I'm in the middle of, which I am currently filming. But now is the time to pick up book 3, which is Sea Witch. I do have it in my library right now, so I will be taking a shower and then getting ready for bed and started, and I will give you guys an update tomorrow because it is way too late and I cannot speak anymore because I feel like I am not wording words. I feel like I am babbling and saying pretty much nothing coherent. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. So we just finished Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, and I just read this book in one sitting. Pretty much spent the last 4 hours going through this book, and I have some thoughts. So first of all, for the rating, I think I'm going to go between a 2.75 or a 3 stars, but I'm tending more to I'm sorry, I'm like losing my voice, but I am tending more to a 2.75 because I don't think I am a big fan of retellings. I don't like when there is a story out there that we know of or that we grew up with and it's just retelling the story, even though this one was quite original because it was like a prequel to The Mermaid, and I feel like it did not resemble whatsoever the story of The Mermaid. However, I think that book 2 might look like it a little more. So this felt like a prequel to the story of The Mermaid. And I think you should not pick up this book if you're expecting a fast-paced, multiple plot point, lore and magical system explained. I feel like if you like witches and you like the mermaid story, you should definitely pick this up. But if you're looking for something that is packed with action and lore and world building, this book might not be for you, which is why it is a lower rating on my end. But I feel like a lot of people could enjoy this if you like witches and the story of mermaid, and if you like lower paced books, this should definitely be on your radar. And I also think that why it felt a little flat for me is that I was expecting something to happen, and when it happened, it was not even like a huge revelation, which made me lower my rating for sure. But yeah, that was my third and last book for this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you liked this kind of video, please let me know. I will continue doing more of me picking up books from my TBR. I feel like it does help me pick them up and force me a little bit to just tackle them as soon as possible. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!